we're going to learn how to solve different types of equations, 1- and 2-step equations. The first thing you want to do is you want to know that your goal in mind is to get the variable or the letter by itself. So you have to get rid of everything that's with that. So anything that's stuck to that, that's actually saved for last. So we have to get rid of subtracting 5, and you always get rid of things by doing opposites. So the opposite of subtracting 5 is adding 5. So I'm going to add 5 to both sides. Okay, bring down your 3g. Opposites cancel. That's why you did that. Equals 7 plus 5 is 12. Now this is 3 times g, so the opposite of times is divide. So divide both sides by 3. Top cancels with bottom. G equals 12 divided by 3 is 4. And that one's finished. Okay, remember we want to get the y by itself, so whatever stuck to that gets saved to last. So we have to get rid of a positive 10. The opposite of positive 10 is negative 10. Now in algebra, negative and subtraction are the same thing. So opposites cancel, bring down the 6y, equals 16 take away 10 is 6. This is 6 times y, so the opposite of times is divide. So I'm going to divide both sides by 6. Top cancels with bottom. Y equals 6 divided by 6, because a fraction is division. 6 divided by 6 is 1. This next one, I'm going to get rid of a positive 9, so the opposite of positive 9 is negative 9. So I have to subtract 9 from both sides. Opposites cancel. Negative 2x equals 35 take away 9 is 26. Divide both sides by negative 2. Divide by both sides by negative 2, so you do that. Top cancels with bottom. X equals, now there's a negative in the denominator, but there's not a negative in the numerator to cancel it out. It takes, for a fraction, it takes top and bottom to cancel it. So it's going to stay negative. And then 26 divided by 2 is 13. Okay, with a fraction, I would like to get rid of the denominator first. So you take whatever the denominator is and you multiply each piece by that. It just helps get rid of your fractions. I just prefer to do that. Okay, so 9 times 2 is 18. Then you've got a negative sign. Top cancels with bottom. So you've got a 4x left. You just got rid of the fraction. Equals negative 6 times 9 is negative 54. I'm going to subtract 18 from both sides. Top cancels with bottom. Negative 4x equals negative 54, and a negative 18 is a negative 72. Divide both sides by negative 4. Top cancels with bottom. X equals negative 72 divided by negative 4 is a positive 18. Okay, if a variable doesn't have a number in front, it's assumed to be a 1, so this is a 1t. Now I have to get my variables together, so I've got to move one of these. I'm going to move the smallest one. So you do move things by doing the opposite. So the opposite of positive 1t is negative 1t. So I'm going to subtract 1t from both sides. So 3t take away 1t is 2t. Bring down the negative 6 equals, opposites cancel, bring down the 10. Now remember, your goal is to get t by itself, so I have to add 6 to both sides. So 2t, opposites cancel, equals 16. And this is 2 times t, so the opposite of times is divide, so I'm going to divide both sides by 2. Top cancels with bottom. T equals 16 divided by 2 is 8. Okay, number 6, I'm going to choose to move the 2n to get it with the 4n. So the opposite of positive 2n is negative 2n. Make sure that that gets lined up under your n's. You don't want to put it under the 15. It's not the same thing. Okay, bring down the 15. 4 take away 2, that's a positive 2n. Bring down the equal sign. These 2n's cancel because opposites cancel. Bring down the negative 9. I'm going to subtract 15 from both sides. opposites cancel, bring down the 2n. Negative 9 and a negative 15 is a negative 24. Divide both sides by 2. Top cancels with bottom. N equals negative 24 divided by 2 is negative 12. Okay, remember in front of this v at the end, it's a negative 1v. So I need to get my v's together. Negative 1 is smaller than a positive 3, so I'm going to choose to move the negative 1. The opposite of negative 1v is positive 1v, so I'm going to add 1v to both sides. So I get 4v plus 8 equals 12. Opposites cancel. Okay, that's a 4, sorry about that. I'm going to subtract 8 from both sides. So bring down the 4v, opposites cancel, bring down the equal, 12 take away 8 is 4. This is 4 times v, the opposite of times is divide, so I'm going to divide both sides by 4. Top cancels with bottom, v equals 4 divided by 4 is 1. Number 8, there is a 1 in front of this t here, so I'm going to make that a 1t. So I'm going to move the negative 2t because it's smaller than a 1t. So the opposite of negative 2t is a positive 2t. So I'm going to add 2t to both sides. Bring down the 5. Opposites cancel. Bring down the equal. 1t plus 2t is 3t. And bring down the positive 19. Now I'm going to subtract 19 from both sides. So 5 take away 19 is negative 14 equals 3t. Opposites cancel. This is 3 times t. The opposite of times is divide, so I'm going to divide both sides by 3. Now negative 14 over 3, that doesn't simplify. You can leave it as an improper fraction. That is acceptable. So negative 14 over 3 equals top cancels with bottom t, and that's the answer to that one. Okay, the price of a baseball glove is $8 more than half the price of spikes. The glove costs $54. Solve the equation S over 2 plus 8 equals 54 to find out how much the spikes cost. Well, you don't have to worry about setting up the equation. They already set it up for you. So just use what they gave you. So S over 2 plus 8 equals 54. So I want to get rid of the fraction, multiply each term by the denominator. That gets rid of the fraction for you. So I'm going to multiply everything by 2. Top cancels with bottom. So I have S. 8 times 2 is 16. Sorry, I forgot the 1. Equals 54 times 2 is 108. Subtract 16 from both sides. S, opposites cancel, equals 92. Okay, the spikes cost $92. Okay, represent the following statement as an equation. We are not asked to solve this. They just want us to write it. So I underline the word is. I put a box in front of everything, around everything in front of that, and around everything behind it. So in front of it, I've got 5. More than means add. Twice a number means it's multiplication, so you just stick them together. So twice is 2 times n is what they're talking about. That box is finished. Now is means write down an equal and then write down the next box, 17, and that one is finished as well.